It's not time for us to look at what the papers are reporting this morning, and I'll be doing this with my colleagues, Ria, who is very close to me, sitting very close to me, and then the duo of Veronica and
almost looks like a debate.
Maybe we can eventually turn it into a debate, you know.
Absolutely.
Right, so the first with me here is the Punch newspaper, sorry, the Nation newspaper. Let's start with the Nation newspaper with the headline above the masthead: remain steadfast. Tinubu tells Nigerians. President VP observe Eid prayers in Abuja. The Sultan of Sokoto saying Muslims troop to Eid grounds. Sultan calls for tolerance. 2 die in Gombe stampede. Wicked leads FCT home to Villa. And then you can see the infographics here, which is saying that President Bola Tinubu's exceptional performance is supported by strong evidence provided below, which is first, on the economy, the tax to Nigeria GDP ratio, revenue statistics in Africa 2024. Nigeria, giving the figures there, which you can have a perusal of. And the second one talking about national security, emphasizing the gains this administration is making. But Veronica, let me start with you in the spirit of Eid al-Fitr, which is the smallest of the festivals of the Islamic faith. Remain steadfast. Tinubu tells Nigerians. President, VP, observe Eid prayers in Abuja. So we saw the president addressing the press and, you know, sending messages to Nigeria.
Of course, and a cross-section of prominent Nigerians have also been speaking to Nigerians about how it's important to sustain the lessons learned in this period of fasting. Of course, it's a period of renewal of your faith, and you know, spiritual cleansing and all of it, and then, you know, because of the fast at the end of the day, and there are blessings that come with it according to the faith. And so it is important that that is sustained in the course of it, even in our relations with people. So it's good that this message is coming from the president, just encouraging Nigerians to keep at it. Because you know what, he cannot do this alone. He needs Nigerians to walk with him on this journey. So it's important he gives this kind of message so Nigerians can understand where he stands.
Etoma, although you're not celebrating Eid.
Who said I'm not celebrating it? Who said I'm not celebrating it? I know you, and I know a whole lot of other Muslim friends that I have. And during Ramadan, I feel that solemn nature around them, how serious it is. And Christians fast too. And
it's a Lent.
Apart from Lent, we do intermittent fasting from for one reason, time to time, for one reason or the other. So you cannot underemphasize the importance of fasting and the celebration of Eid.
So Ria, although when I was talking to Veronica yesterday, we had a meeting, and then she was saying, is this Salah meat period? I said, no. She now said, I'm safe.
You have to bring that here.
She now said, I'm safe, and I think I'm safe, actually. So what is the lesson for you, especially when the president was telling Nigerian Muslims, or Nigerians generally, to imbibe the lessons learned during this period?
You know, generally, I think fasting cleanses. Apart from even being a Muslim or a Christian, I just think there's something about fasting that is very, very important. And we've seen the Muslim do the fasting, you know, it has come to an end. And this celebration is for breaking off the fast. People need to understand this celebration is breaking the fast. It doesn't have to do with meat or anything. So it's just beautiful that he gets to address them. He's with them, you know, telling them that he supports them, he's with them. And this is a period that they need to still continue, like, with the fast, because I know that people continue fast after fast, and just, you know, be good about it as well. So I think this is a good one from him, because I'm sure a lot of people were looking up to him to say something, and he's finally said it.
Most definitely. All right, so moving on, the Nigerian Tribune is next. We removed FCT from TCA to speed up development. That's according to Tinubu. Wicked leads FCT residents to Villa for Salah homage. Uromi killings, Emir of Kano calls for justice as CDS vows collaboration to fish out killers. PFN condemns killing, demands justice for victims. Edo governor suspends security chief, illegal vigilante. Ria, I do not know how you received this story, but for me, it was heart-wrenching.
So when I saw the story, it quickly reminded me of the 4 Alu boys that died in Port Harcourt, you know, because that like really went viral as well. It's so sad. I never believe in, you know, lynching people or jungle justice. I feel like if you see somebody, take them to the authority. Because these people were just hunters. But now you're saying that you saw guns in the cars, or you thought that they were criminals. So it's really, really sad. And I feel like the people that did it should be prosecuted, because you cannot just go ahead taking lives. And these people were going for Salah holidays as well. So it's really, really a sad one. They really need to look into it. They need to be brought to book. The people that did this crime need to be brought to book. Families are hurting.
Veronica, we fear of any reprisal attacks.
That's the concern. I like the fact that the governor has suspended the security chief and the illegal vigilante groups, and we're seeing conversation going on. But how this will ensure that there are no reprisals is the major issue, because like we have said, people are hurting, and you know how people react to these things. It's like there is this hatred for one tribe against the other. That's how the interpretation differs.
That's right.
And so if we do not contain it as quickly as possible, that is where it will give room for reprisal. So as quickly as possible, the state government, everybody that has to do something should do it now, so that we will not face any reprisal.
And the same story goes on the front page of the Punch newspaper. Lynched travelers, CDS squad goes after killers. As Okpelo consults governors. 14 arrested as governor suspends security corps boss. Illegal vigilante groups. Mob action is something we do not want to have to experience or talk about anywhere in Nigeria or even in the world.
That is why I advocate that the federal government takes Nigerian security, internal security, very seriously and start being proactive about it.
That's right.
I mean, if we didn't have security concerns, finding guns with hunters shouldn't have sort of raised red flags that are so big that these guys started lynching the hunters. The psychology of the average Nigerian is that of being security conscious. So you see anything like that, you want to act immediately. And the people that constitute the local vigilante are not trained, are not, most of them are not educated.
Right.
So you expect to see those kind of reactions, you know, from time to time. It's unfortunate, but I must give kudos to the governor of Edo State. So far, he has been on top of the case.
Absolutely.
And that's how it should be.
Right, still on the front page of the Punch newspaper above the nameplate, Rivers, federal government awaits service of PDP governor's suit. Petrol price to rise more as Naira for crude talks wobble.
Okay, we've started the dance, isn't it?
Still on the right on the nameplate, Eid al-Fitr, Tinubu, National Assembly members, governors preach peace. Police heighten security nationwide. On the bottom strip, where Obasa pursues suit against Miranda, lawmakers despite Tinubu's intervention.
I'm interested in this matter of the petrol price rise. We've been talking about a crash in price of items, and we know how when you see there's an increase in the price of petrol, how that also impacts the prices of goods and services at the end of the day. It's unfortunate that we are not having a sense of direction where the conversation between the government, Dangote, and every other person involved in this conversation is going, because the contract expired today.
That's right.
Today is expired today. Yeah. So by now we should have known what the direction is, if the government will extend it after the 6-month expiration period or not. But now we are seeing that petrol, I'm speaking because I have a car and I have to buy fuel, and I'm buying it higher than it is, 930 Naira per liter. That's what it is right now.
That's right.
It is not funny. It is not funny. We should have a sense of direction.
But
quick one, you know, I always wanted to ask a question. What did they think will happen after the 6 months?
It is either you, no, the issue is it's supposed to have extended or not. At least let us know where we stand. The conversation is ongoing, but where are we? By now, we should know. If it was successful, it was in the best interest of Nigerians. That was why the president decided we should do this. And Nigerians saw the benefit. A lot of people were able to afford fuel, buy goods and services because the price crashed. And here we are now.
Again.
And to now think that some marketers are already holding fuel, you know, in plans for the fuel hike. We do not want to see this. Daily Trust is next. Uromi killings, families seek justice, share victims' last moments. And then we see Tantita Security Services Nigeria Limited saying that Emilokon meaning it's your turn for another 4 years. I know Ria also speaks Yoruba to a very, very reasonable extent.
Of course, no worry about that now.
She has to say it.
That sounds good. Right, so let's move to the next paper, Nigerian News Direct. While we removed FCT from Treasury single accounts. That's according to Tinubu, as President hails Wike for infrastructural strides. Did anybody, you know, watch the president's, you know, joke, political joke, anyway, about FCT Minister Wike saying that, okay, you brought in all of these plans and what all you're doing, make sure my party wins the next election, otherwise you are sacked.
The way I read it is, the way I read what he said is, You are PDP.
Yeah. And you're doing all of this under my administration. Videos should come to my table.
Exactly.
So you are doing things that will make APC win in the FCT. Wow,
but you know how the PDP has been reacting to Wike and all of his antics and the things that he has been doing. Recall the role he played in 2023, how he decided that, you know what, if the party, his party, that's the PDP, is going this direction, he is going in another direction, and he has not hidden the fact that he supports the current administration. So the president making a joke out of it is like re-emphasizing what is already out there and giving them something to even talk about. But it's interesting to see, to also know that the president is listening and hearing all that is going on.
That's right. Right, moving on to the next paper, Platform Times. Naira scarcity almost made me quit presidential race. Ria, I'm sure you experienced the cash crunch at that time when Godwin Emefiele and his cohort and his cahoots, so let me just put it that way, ensure that there was no single, not enough money to flow around, and people died. Now he's facing serious legal battles. I don't know whether you remember that thing with nostalgia.
No, I was in Ghana then, but I heard about it. I heard that this was happening in Nigeria, which was very, very sad. And and
you had to wait for the Naira thing to come back before
I come, because I don't want to die. So I had to wait. But I heard the news because it was trending everywhere. I think I saw a lot about it, while I was in Ghana. But we just hope it doesn't happen again, actually.
We haven't gotten out of that situation.
We just hope it doesn't happen again.
It's a little bit tampered down. But then we were seeing it stark red. It was really red. And it was a period where if you do not have cash at home, sorry for you. We don't want to see that again.
And I also heard that during that time, the POS people also, were losing their jobs.
That was when they started their business. That was when the business of POS began.
Started booming.
And so this is where we are right now. Of course, the government is trying for us to switch over to using our ATMs and all of that.
Can we still switch back to ATMs?
Ria, because of our time, I just wanted to react to this before we move away from this paper. ICPC uncovers multi-billion Naira hospital project fraud. And related story, Ondo government to investigate open sale of coffins at state hospital. Imagine you go into the hospital and then you see, large display of coffins right in front of the hospital.
I would rather die
a lot of funny things happen. I went to a pharmacy and I saw beer.
What?
A pharmacy selling beer.
Maybe it's a catalyst to ensure
catalyst
that.
To what?
It's interesting.
Yeah.
So people are looking for other streams of income and whatever it is that they can bring in.
The business
but let me tell you something. Even the people selling the coffins, they want to sell their market.
Yes.
And by selling their market, they want people to.
So if you lose someone, you don't have to go far. Just branch by the.
That reminds me of a joke of a man who said that our market. Are you selling well? Just the way we say in Yoruba. I don't know. I can't remember. Chadewa. We are waiting for you.
And he was selling coffee.
Yes, he's selling coffee. The coffin seller. So we are waiting for you.
No, but I think it would be very scary. People will really be scared to go to hospitals. Imagine go to hospital. I know if you die, you are just.
So it now seems that they are deliberately killing people in that hospital.
We should not be.
That is what.
Right. That's the impression.
That's
the impression.
Yes.
Right. Next is the Daily Independence. Inefficiencies, liquidity strain hold down power supply or power sector growth. Experts urge structural reforms, decentralization to drive investment. Tinubu charges Nigerians on love, charity for vulnerable citizens. NESG unveils new roadmap to drive Nigeria's economic development. Air passengers missing baggage hit 47,923 in 12 months. That's way too high.
That's way
I do not know how we all feel whenever we have to fly. And then the next thing is, yes, I've got a safe landing. And what about my baggages?
That is the most craziest thing that can ever happen to anybody, because it has happened to me before. I remember one time I was coming from Ghana, and at that time, African World left my bag in Lagos. And I was in Ghana, all my bags were in Lagos.
Oh boy.
Wow. And it was really, really a big one. So I think this is something that they really need to work on. Authorities need to really, the people that are supposed to ensure that the bags get to the locations of where the people are going, really need to work on it.
The question I ask is, how does it happen?
Is it that they don't get into the plane?
You packed everything. You asked us to drop our bags, luggages somewhere, and that you moved them to another point. So what happened? Did it fall mid-air?
But I think another thing of what they say happens is, for example, maybe your bag has like a damage or something. So they'll take it off to tell you it has a damage. If they don't now get to you, they don't fly the bag.
So when were you supposed to communicate with me?
You see, those are just excuses they give. You know, there's a lot of human error. If you have an airline, you have to build a system.
That's right.
Absolutely.
If the system doesn't work, if there's a glitch in the system, it affects a lot of things.
Yeah. That's right.
And you also will understand that baggages are handled by a
Certain
separate company.
Yeah.
And most times there's this communication problem.
That's right.
So anytime they have a communication problem, we have cases like this. And then it is the airline whose brand is right in front that will bear the brunt.
Right. The Guardian newspaper is next with the screaming headline here: high interest rates choke real sector as banks break 1 trillion naira profit threshold. Tinubu hails Okpewolo's education reforms. NCDC activates level 2 response as Lassa fever kills 118. I'll share with authorities evidence of theft under Fubara, says YK. Well, that won't, we've not had the last about the River State, brouhaha. Okay. I guess the last paper that I have with me here is a Daily Independent. Daily Independent having it as very interesting headlines coming up. Okay, I think I've taken the Daily Independent. So many other papers, I believe, because this issue of Lassa fever, which is killing people.
I was looking forward to talking about it. It's sad that we're still having to, fight this scourge. Over 50 years we've been dealing with this matter, and here we are still having this public health challenge. I think that state governments need to do better, take responsibility, especially for primary health care that are meant to deal with, issues like this. And then individuals need to also ensure that they take care of the home front to ensure that this thing does not spread, because cleanliness of your environment is key to avoiding Lassa.
And the same thing with what you just said, Veronica. I always tell people the government cannot do everything. It starts with us. You as well, are you cleaning you cannot just every time blame the government. What are you doing in your home? Just like what you said, like we also need to take precautions.
Things like Lassa fever are directly connected to the cleanliness of our environment. And that is in the hands of the citizens.
The citizens.
But the government actually has a role to play, that of education and insistence that you clean your environment.
Yeah, interesting stuff. And then we just have to be also very, very careful, because when you see rodents, Veronica doesn't like me to paint that picture. You travel.
Just leave the picture like that.
No, let me share it with Rian and Toma.
I'm still here.
When you have to travel and then you see rodents, you see
it's okay now.
the gari, the cassava flakes, being spread on the side of the road, and then you see rodents, peeing and pooping, there, and then they have to take it and process it.
That's actually
maybe that's what makes gari even more.
That's actually a very terrible picture.
Well, that's about it for the newspapers that we've decided to review this morning. There's so many more, and then we believe that we've updated Nigerians, as much as we can this morning. Well, do stay with us here on TVC Breakfast. We'll now discuss the significance of Eid al-Fitr and its impact on Muslim faithful across the world. Do stay with us.